What's up, guys? I have never made a video on a crime case before or a accidental death case before, anything like that, so this is going to be a first for me. I just wanted to get on here and kind of give my opinion. I have a little bit of a different opinion than most people about this case. I know a lot of people go live and they have people go on their lives, but it's just kind of all getting washed out right now, and so I just wanted to post my own video. A lot of people are talking about whether it was an accident, whether it was intentional, who was involved, was there strangers involved, random adults that would have been at this party. Just lots of people with lots of speculations about what happened to Kiely. And one thing that people aren't really talking about is the possibility of an accidental death, intentional cover-up. And what I mean by that is the possibility that Kiely died due to unforeseen circumstances and people freaked out and wanted to cover it up. And the reason why I am thinking that way is, I remember going to parties and people getting inebriated, getting drunk or whatever, way past what the limit should be to be a functional human being. And kind of just everybody making a big joke about it, thinking it was funny. I recall being at a party where a young underage kid was there and he started drinking and he didn't stop drinking. And everybody was just kind of joking and laughing as he was falling all over the place. And then, long story short, by the end of the night, he was sitting on a piece of patio furniture and he began to profusely vomit. Now he's passed out. And everybody was just kind of laughing and whatever, and this kid who was training to be an AMT, thank God for him, he ran over there, pushed him out of the chair, basically got him up on his knees so that he was not throwing up and choking on it. And there's a good possibility that kid could have died that night had there not been this EMT kid there, because nobody wanted to be the one that was freaking out, the one that didn't think it was funny. You wanted to be the cool kid. You wanted to be the one making a joke and taking a picture with this kid passed out. That's who you wanted to be. And that's what makes me think that there's a possibility that something like this happened to Kiely. There is a possibility that she unintentionally died due to whether she overdosed on something or what have you, whether she knew what she was taking or whether it was laced with something. I know a lot of people, they want to paint this picture that Kiely was out there passing tracts for Jesus, but the reality was she is at a party. They did find the raw cones in her car. There's a good chance they were hers. I'm not saying, drugs like that kill. I'm just saying there's a good chance that she was partaking in something, and whether she knowingly or unknowingly also consumed something else that caused her to pass away, that is a possibility. And the thing with the cargo, her ending up in the cargo area, I can't tell you how many times I've been at a party and somebody was like, had too much, and they're like, I just need to lay down, I need whatever, and you throw them in the cargo area of your car, or if you have the strength to get them in the back seat of the car, you do that. But you gotta imagine these girls hanging out together, they were all about the same weight or lighter, and maybe they couldn't pick her up and lift her into the back seat of that car, and maybe it was just easier to put her in the cargo area. There's been a few times where I've been at parties and you do that. If it's cool enough out, you crack a window, you throw your friend in there so they can sleep it out while you still party and hang out. You lock the doors, they go to sleep, you don't worry about them, and you go party, and then when you're done partying, you go get them. It sounds stupid, and a lot of people don't want to think that way, but that's the reality of sometimes what you do when you're at parties and you have friends that drink too much and whatever. So for me, I feel like there is a possibility other than someone maliciously putting her in the cargo area of why she could have ended up in the cargo area. And a lot of people there's a lot of people saying things that just irk me lately. There was a couple people making comments about that can't be her laptop because it has the MILF Hunter or whatever it's called, the sticker on it, and they're saying, I don't think Kiely would have I don't know why I keep calling her Kiely. I don't think Kiely would have a sticker like that. It's like, what do you mean? You don't even know her. You don't even, it just doesn't make sense. The girl had a sex wax sticker on the back of her iPhone, which is, she's not a surfer. It's just something that I know people who have the sex wax stickers because they just think it's funny. They're not surfers, so it doesn't make sense why they have it. It's just that they think it's funny. And the same thing with the MILF sticker. You know, people think it's funny, and it doesn't make it doesn't make them a bad person. So you can't just say, "Oh, I don't think they would have that." It's like, I don't know. So, and my theory about her accidentally dying and her ending up in the water is, I don't have a real good grasp on who I think put her in the water, but I do think there's a high chance that her friends could have freaked out. They could have really gotten scared. Number one, they're intoxicated, so their senses are going to be heightened about things like fear, and there's a good chance that they were really scared about the consequences of what could happen to them. Because you got to think, some of these kids probably have scholarships and stuff that they would lose. They would lose them if they got in trouble for something like this. There's drugs, there was alcohol, there's evidence of all of that on the scene. So I can imagine what it must have gone through their minds, being young and naive and scared and intoxicated. I just think that there's a chance that she could have accidentally died, and then she was intentionally put in the water out of fear. And it makes me think that's why, the one girl was talking about how, as soon as I got there, I was made to take 10 bong rips, so I just left. And it's like, what? I feel like they're trying to create a narrative of that would fit the story in case she was found, in case this did come out that she had too much of something. It's just, I don't know. That's my theory, and I feel like a lot of people aren't hitting on that. Everything's a crime. Everything's got to be a crime, or she accidentally ended up in the lake. And I don't really subscribe to either of those thoughts. I just feel like it could have gone bad for her. Either she made wrong choices, or she made choices that things were different than she thought they were, and kids got scared. And I'm willing to call them kids. I know some of them are 18, but they're still kids. And they could have, just made the wrong choice out of fear about the consequences of what would happen to them and their futures, and what their parents would think, and what their community would think. And they could have tried to cover it up. Maybe not cover it up in a way that, makes it disappear completely, but cover it up in a way that would get rid of evidence, and maybe they just had this idea in their head: if we push her in the water, it'll look like she drove in the water, or it'll look like, something like that happened, and maybe the water will get rid of evidence. Maybe, there's all these things that they could have been thinking. And so I just wanted to share my point of view. Yeah, thanks for listening.